So let's answer everything about the sacrifices, okay? Um, it's actually discussed whether the sacrifices are coming back or not, even among people who hold to millennium. And part of the reason is that there are differences in the descriptions that exist about the temple at various points in the scripture. So then it becomes a question of, am I supposed to understand this literally? Or is this a symbol, an intended symbol about restoration? And that's really the point. So people do disagree on this for sure. Even people who hold to various forms of the return of Christ. My own view is that we never go back to the law as it was. That with the coming of Christ and his one sacrifice that takes care of sacrifices, that part of what the law represented is taken care of. But I do think there's going to be a restored temple. I do think there'll be some forms of worship that might include sacrifices. That's possible. They just won't be atoning sacrifices. And I think they'll be viewed more like memorial acts of worship than as dealing with particular concerns that the law had in the Hebrew Scriptures. Because there were different kinds of sacrifices in the Hebrew Scriptures. Some of them were gift offerings. Some of them were atonement. There were a variety of things. Some were for purification. So I think we could well experience different kinds of sacrifices, but they won't work the same way they did in the Old Testament. There'll be a celebration of the completion of the laws of Christ. Now, with all the variation that I've just expressed and the uncertainty and discussion that's involved in that, it's clear that what we're discussing here are not matters that determine your salvation or not, or even your orthodoxy or not. They are different views within the family of God that people hold about what lies ahead. And just as there were surprises when Jesus came the first time, I won't be surprised if there are surprises when Jesus comes back.